A New York State judge drops 2 terrorism-related murder charges against Luigi Mangione, the 27-year-old accused of fatally shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year. The judge ruled Tuesday that New York state law doesn't consider something terrorism simply because it was motivated by ideology. The Manhattan DA's office argued that a terrorism charge was warranted because Mangione murdered a chief executive in Midtown, the media capital of the world. DA Alvin Bragg said the well-planned execution was intended to cause intimidation and evoke terror. However, Bragg's office has said they would not appeal and will proceed on the remaining 9 counts. This includes second-degree murder, which carries a 25 years to life sentence. Mangione also still faces federal charges in which prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. To help us break down the latest in this case, I'm joined by legal analyst and former court-appointed counsel Philip Dubé. Philip, so give us some clarity on the judge's ruling yesterday in the Luigi Mangione case. Were these terrorism charges actually dropped?
No. And by the way, it was a pretty gutsy move on the part of a state court judge. If you think about it, as unpopular as the ruling is and was, judges are not to be guided by how the public perceives or interprets judicial rulings. They are to rule independently from the bench. Charges were not dropped. That is a commonly misplaced, misused term. Dropped means where prosecutors exercising their own individual discretion decide on their own to seek dismissal of the charges. Oftentimes it's due to insufficiency of evidence. Maybe they have an uncooperative witness, or maybe they realize in the 11th hour that that charge is overfiled and they just can't prove it. But here what happened was the prosecution flexed, they doubled down, and they argued against the defense motion for dismissal of those charges, and the court agreed with the defense and found that those 2 top charges of first-degree premeditated murder in furtherance of terror and second-degree murder in furtherance of terror cannot stand based on the legal definition of terrorism under New York law. And that requires a separate analysis. But he still stands accused of a 3rd murder charge of intentional murder, and that carries an indeterminate life sentence. So it's not as if he, in the immediate future, is walking away from this. He's just going to go down on different charges. And by the way, the gun charges alone carry over 40 years. But let's just say he miraculously beats the murder. He's going to go away hard on the gun charges.